Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, respectfully, what the fuck is going on? I feel like what? Like that's how I feel. So every season, usually there's a sign. There's like a signs reading that I'm running from. And I was just sure that this go round was going to end up being Taurus because it's their shadow season. But nope, it was y'all. Like when I leaned into your energy, this is okay. And this, I hope this isn't everybody's reading. But if it is, sit down. This shit is for you. There is like some neurotic shit that's going on. I feel like there's lots of confusion. There's lots of procrastination. It's almost like overstim. Go get your shit. We got stuff to talk about. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What it do? It's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Scorpio season 2025. Y'all, I've been running from this fucking reading. I've been doing everything. I've been productive doing everything but the number one productive thing that I've been wanting to do. So in Scorpio season, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what are you running from? What are you running from doing that you know you need to do? Are there like new sources of procrastination, new ways you're finding yourself procrastinating? Um I need to go ahead and just dive in. So let's clear out any funky ass energy. Welcoming in my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, Holy Spirit, benevolent ancestors, welcome you. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's just giving what the fuck. That's how that feels to me. So I feel like in Scorpio season, the Gemini placements are really getting like kind of called out in some sort of way. I feel like there's a change in regards to spiritual, emotional, uh, even like creative works. I feel like Gemini in Scorpio season, there's a lot about you accessing your shadow, the raw, uncut, unfiltered version of yourself. Some of you are spending way too much time on the phone, way too much time online, like way too much like blue light. You need to start wearing blue blockers to go into bed at night, or there could just be something about creating the environment for sleep so that you can get more restful sleep. I feel like also some of you, there's so many options that like you just may be overstimulated. It could just be like analysis paralysis for some of you. It just is like something feels overwhelming. I feel like it's overwhelming in the mind, so it's therefore feeling overwhelming to you. For some of you, it's overwhelming feelings that now is causing you to overthink. But either way, I just feel like there's so many options. There's so much that you could do and you don't know where to start, and where to start is stillness. Stop, like get off your phone, get offline, quit trying to ask questions. I also like just got something about coming to somebody as a woman. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you bet do not let me catch you coming to some other bitch about a man and coming as a woman. That maybe somebody's doing that to you, but you just better make sure it's not you. If there's some other like confusion around a love relationship, you tend to the person that you are in contact with, not the other person. Do not get involved in other people's drama. I feel like it's a lot. Be sure to check out that Scorpio season astrology video that has all the important astrological transit dates, but I will put you on game. Mercury, your ruling planet for the for the Gemini suns, your ruling planet is in Scorpio until October 29th, and then he goes into Sagittarius. Um, Mercury, traditionally, we don't have a lot of data. We don't have that, like, there aren't stories about Mercury traversing through water. And so it is from the data that we have of history and the things that happen when Mercury is in Scorpio, it can be fucking squirrely, but not even just Mercury and Scorpio. It's like when Mercury is in water, when Mercury is in Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, things can get really squirrely, really murky, um, very dreamy, very fantastical, very elusive, very mysterious, very fluid, but also it's just like kind of feels like unknown territory. And I just feel like some of you may feel like you are in an unknown territory. Um, in that, I do feel like feels overwhelming. It doesn't feel like a positive feeling when I lean into that. So I feel like the first thing is acknowledging, like, I haven't been here before. I don't know what to do about this. I don't know what to do about this situation or this pain or this grief or this loss or this confusion. Some of you are drinking too much. Some of you are smoking too much. Some of you are numbing. Some of you are diving into escapism. There may be somebody with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements that you're having a lot of confusion or doubt or creativity with. Maybe all three. But either way, let's dive in. Gemini, first thing, yes, that's what I'm saying. The Hangman reverse. First thing to be clarified on the Selenite throne. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. What has you stuck? What has stagnated? What is this rush of blood to the head with the Hangman reverse? There's this. See this like halo around him? There's this big aha moments, big realizations in regards to your habits, in regards to your subconscious mind, in regards to how your subconscious or psychocybernetic programming fuels your actions, how it there could be some confusion or some drama with somebody with Pisces placements specifically. I also feel like in Scorpio season, you just may come into Scorpio season feeling stuck or feeling imposed upon or feeling like things aren't moving at the pace that you want them to. Hydrate, light it if you need it. You've been lighting something. And I feel like you're trying to light a fire up under your own ass. And the divine is like, nah, sit down. Sit down. Sit down and let's get to the root of these subconscious issues. There's like some sort of aha moment, some rush of blood to the head, some rush of insight, some like realization, a revelation that I feel like that comes from the stuckness or that comes from a voluntary pause. Some of you are trying to figure out, should I pause on this? Whatever that is, if you're questioning, should you pause? Yes, this is a sign. Here's your sign. Fucking press pause. And slow down, downshift. There's already like the clouds in the Seven of Cups are big, thick, opaque clouds. You cannot see through this shit. And I just feel like some of you are trying to make decisions in a place where you don't have all the information. Your brain is overreacting, is overthinking, not overreacting, maybe overreacting. I didn't mean to say overreacting. Maybe some of you are overreacting. Maybe some of you, like, you were like, I knew that this shit would happen and you ignored your intuition, like, or you ignored an emotion, or you ignored some profound insight that came from old drama. The Tower. I'm telling you, some of you, I feel like, are stuck. Some of you being held to the fire. Your ass is being held to the fire, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. In some sort of way, Mercury is right next to Mars in Scorpio. And I just feel like this is a halt, a sudden change of plans. Suddenly I'm confused. Suddenly this is fucked up. Suddenly I don't know what's happening. Suddenly there's smoke. Another two cards out with clouds or smoke. I feel like some of you, this may involve somebody with Aries, Scorpio, or Aquarius placements feeling stuck or feeling like this huge sudden change or huge sudden shift. I feel like in some arena, you have built something atop a foundation that is not structurally sound. Something was built on fantasy. Something was built on thoughts and fucking prayers. Something was, like, what's that song? It's like, don't stop believing. I feel like some of you had that very just like 80s Bon Jovi go after it energy, like fuck it, YOLO, and you have ignored your logic in some sort of arena. And I feel like it blew up in your face. And now this isn't for all of you, but for some of you, some shit blew up in your face. or some shit blows up in your face in Scorpio season, and it's because you are ignoring your intuition and you're looking through your physical eyes, looking through the eyes of logic, not allowing this change that's gonna come in Scorpio season. I feel like something shifts. Those of you who are under the sound of my voice, something shifts in you where you start to finally look at life through the lens of faith, through the lens of the supernatural, through the lens of the divine, through like this lens of understanding these are signs, like understanding all this shit is real and all of it's fake at the same time. Some of you are having like a big spiritual breakthrough. Nine of Pentacles. I just want to Nine of Pentacles reverse, Two of Cups reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles. Some of you are suddenly breaking up. Some of you, this time the breakup is for real. For some of you, like this is the breakup that sticks. For some of you, you're getting a divorce. For some of you, you're quitting or you're going in a different direction when it comes to your business. It could be suddenly I'm done with this. Suddenly I'm not in love with this anymore. Suddenly I don't want to do this. I don't want. This is gonna be a juicy ass plunge, bitch. Oh my god. I hope to see you over there on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. Over there, me and my ethical cult are going to clarify all of these cards. And we go another we get into it because you know I'm nosy and I want to know what's going on, all the tea. I need all the tea. Somebody is not moving at the pace that you want them to move at. Someone is immovable, I hear. And I feel like just because you are capable of going 90 miles an hour for like 40 years doesn't mean that everybody else is capable of doing that. And so I feel like some of you are having to wrap your head around like it's not you, it's the pace that you're moving at. And you need to honor if you can handle somebody that moves at that slow of a pace. I also want to say that on Patreon, there's all kinds of astrological content and a tier for daily reading. So check that out. The links are in the description box below. Patreon.com/JustJEverything. Okay, hydrate. Two major arcana, one court card for Scorpio season. So Scorpio season, I feel like the beginning and the center, like it comes in with a bang. Something comes in hot. It's funny, I wanted to say comes in halt. There is a halt of something. Something has been halted. And I feel like you got the sign to do it. Some of you listened and the halt isn't as painful. Some of you didn't and the divine had to halt this shit themselves. And so I feel like it feels like shit is on fire. But in Scorpio season, the divine is forcing you to really evaluate some worthiness wound. This is about worthiness wounds. This is about what you tolerate, how you let people talk to you, how you let people treat you, what you tolerate in your friendships and in your relationships, specifically what you tolerate in your romantic relationships. Some of you, I feel like there's just something there around worthiness wounds that are starting to come up, wounds around your femininity, wounds around feeling feminine if you date men, like wounds around like, do you put yourself in scenarios with people that feel safe? Do you deepen connections with people that are actually safe? Have you given yourself enough intuition tests to start trusting your intuition yet? You know what I mean? Like, let's say for science you decide to start, like, I feel like you guys really need to start developing your intuition, and I mean like literal tests. So like, you get invited on a coffee date. What does your intuition, does it feel like you just got to play with discovering the sensation? um what feels like an internal yes? What feels like an internal no? What happens if it feels like a yes and you don't go? What happens if it feels like a no and you do go? You know what I mean? Like, there's something about giving yourself the data, giving yourself the experiential wisdom so that you can start to figure out which intuitive sensation to trust. And that only happens from experience. And I feel like no matter how intuitive you are, no matter how vast the capacity for your psychic power or intuition is, it doesn't mean shit if you haven't tested it, if you don't trust it. Faith without works is dead. The dream stays a dream until action is taken. So I feel like some of you, there's some kind of a halt, a sudden change of plans. Something comes in, it really forces you to look at whatever has happened, the patterns. There are some of you are coming into Scorpio season or are about to become aware of a pattern of yours. A pattern of yours that's been going on the last 9-10 months, and it's tied to a worthiness wound. Some of you think you display a superiority complex, but it's actually an inferiority complex. Some of you, this is about like longevity in relationships, consistency in relationships. Like, some of you are like, why can't I have this? Or why can't I maintain or sustain this? It could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be a friendship. And I just feel like the closer we get to Sagittarius season with the Queen of Pentacles coming out, you start to really do the work around parenting. And it's interesting because Scorpio is the sign of the dark mother. And so some of you may start to understand that, like, the worthiness wounds that hit or that are coming up to the surface may be tied to a mother wound or a mothering wound, or a, like, what did your mother instill around worth and around self-care? What was the example that she set around you? Is what she told you different from what she displayed? Like things like that. There could just be something there around um a mother wound up under a worthiness wound. I feel like this Scorpio season is forcing Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's forcing you to face your shadow, to encounter your shadow. It's forcing you to face some fears. And I feel like a lot of you get scared when things slow down. A lot of you get scared because it forces you to look at emotions that it's very easy for you to just like keep it moving and be dismissive about and put, file away, because Geminis, you require so much stimulation, you require so much movement, you just be doing the fucking most. And it's just like the divine is like, hey, can you stop? And if you don't voluntarily stop, I'm going to stop you so that we can address some of this stuff that's causing you to make decisions in love that you end up regretting, or that cause you to make friendship, platonic, uh, I feel like this is like friends with women specifically, or friends with people who have like very feminine energy. It's just like some of you think, oh, I can only hang out with the boys. And it's just like there's a wound there. Let's address that. Regardless of how you identify. I feel like there is an emotional outpouring that's happening in Scorpio season. There may be somebody with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements that I feel like there's a falling out with. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. There may be a falling out. There may be lots of confusion. There may be worthiness wound or femininity wounds around that issue or ailment or whatever that comes up. I feel like that person with Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn placements is willing to put in the work to make things better. That person with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements, I feel like is already running on E, is already drained, is already having their own, like, for lack of a better phrase, come to Jesus moment. They're already getting their ass cosmically handed to them. And so they may not be able to show up as effectively as you would like. That person with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, no, Aries, Leo, or Aquarius placements. I did say Sagittarius, so if it applies, it applies. So someone with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, Scorpio, or Aquarius placements, I feel like they don't give a fuck. They're doing themselves. It's like, I'll burn this bitch down myself. You may be dealing with someone who's quite destructive. There could be some very like aha moment energy that's coming up. I feel like it's like I can't take my eyes off this car crash. can't take my eyes off this. And I'm not speaking that into existence. There will be no literal car crash. It just is like a proverbial one. In the name of Jesus, in the name of the Most High, there will be no car crash. But there is something here around, like that, like deer in headlights. I can't help but look like, how the fuck is this going on? And I just feel like there's some sort of stuckness, and this is either showing up for you, or this is like you are helping someone through this. They may have Pisces, Aries, Scorpio, or Aquarius placements. This could be something that you like, someone that you feel like you have a strong like connection with. I feel like also there's some pretty big aha moments coming in around the way you treat yourself, away around the way that, like, how fast you want things to move, or how much pressure you apply, how you're coming off to people. There could just be some, like, a facade that's falling away, a mask that's falling away. Some of us are like figuring out codependency, which is a trauma response, hyper independence, which is also a trauma response. So there could be just some sort of identification of where you are now on the on that spectrum. I feel like there's really intense conversations that, and also like the divine is done with you making decisions from that lower level of self-worth, from that lower level of audacity. For those of you that are like, oh my God, I got all the audacity, I never had self-worth issues, blah blah blah, blah, self-esteem issues, good, maybe it's your money. And if your money has been like a little funny, then there does need to be some sort of abundance or worthiness, like work done there. I also feel like there is an opportunity to really step your game up in your professional life, in your career, when this worthiness work starts to get done. For some of you, the bar of your self-worth is like in hell right now. For some of you, it's already high and it's where it needs to be. And I'm just telling you, like, if you do a little bit of work, more money's gonna come in. So that's awesome. Um, but there is a change of heart, there's a change of emotion, there is a change in like focus. I feel like Gemini, sun, moon, and rising, you're really being asked to focus on your spirituality, on your emotions, on your creativity, so that you can work. And let's be honest, in Scorpio season, let's be transparent, let's be real around what is halting, what needs to be halted, what needs to be paused, what is causing the turmoil, what is keeping you stuck. Does something feel humiliating or embarrassing? Have you been embarrassed? Are you embarrassing yourself? Are you embarrassing some other people? There could just be some like weird shit that's coming to the surface, and I'm not gonna like sugarcoat that. That looks like a heavy ass lesson that's coming in. And I just feel like if you would let yourself slow down more consistently, God doesn't have to punk you so regularly, you know, or doesn't have to punk you as hard. If you would let yourself slow down and really like remember the hierarchy a bit more. And some of you are great about that. Some of you know, like, okay, this is the divine, blah, 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 blah. So if you know that, then why is like, let's do the work on the like the anxious response or that first response. You know what I mean? There's like just a next level to get to, especially with the Queen of Pentacles coming out upright. Um, I do feel like the homework for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising in Scorpio season is grounding. Getting your bare feet in the grass, getting some kind of a grounding practice, a grounding mat, a grounding ritual, eating more grounding foods, letting yourself gain a little bit more weight, letting yourself like not give a fuck about your weight or your appearance, for the gaze of whatever it is you try to attract. I feel like don't give a fuck about your appearance, as in don't be, I'm not telling you to be like slovenly in this bitch. Or let yourself go out and like, a bonnet and being homely. No, I'm saying don't care what other people think, but you still need to show up and look cute. You still need to feel like, like remember like you're stepping outside. Like, and you need to dress however you want to feel. If you want to, feel like shit, then like keep wearing sweats and hoodies every day. It sounds silly. You'll be warm, but like you won't be operating at your highest capabilities when you're serving a fucking look. Anyway, I'm ready to clarify these cards. Whatever, however the fuck this kerfuckle presents itself, you have all the tools, you have everything that you need in order to survive this. And not only survive it, but like understand this is coming in to teach you something. And the sooner you slow down and allow yourself to receive the lesson and integrate, the sooner that you can get back to regular scheduled programming, But I feel like the divine is like, hey, I'm done having to make fucking Mercury retrograde for you to slow down. Can you start to do that shit on your own? Can we be honest about the procrastination, the numbing, the escapism? Let's be honest about what needs to change. And it has a lot to do with the day-to-day habits. The like very very kind of like Virgo themes. I feel like some of you the wound is with a Virgo. For some of you, the wound is with a fire sign. For some of you, there's just something about getting back to basics. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you feeding yourself consistently? Are you moving your body consistently? Like, what's going on? Are you saving? Are you taking care of yourself? Like it's like there's some self-parenting that's going on in Scorpio season. And it just may feel embarrassing to have to yourself to have to like take a fine-tooth comb through your day-to-day life like that, but that's what's coming up. It's time. I love you. I'm ready to clarify these cards. I'll see you over on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. Let's get into it. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.